All right, I think we're good. I think we're good. Here. Boom, boom, boom. See my shirt?
What happened?
See my shirt?
What'd you do? Let me see. Oh, dang.
Hello, everybody. I'm Mikey.
And I'm Corey.
Every week we discuss and review a new book, movie, album, TV show, or honestly any piece of art or culture that ourselves and you guys choose. This is Mind Control. So there was these people who were being kidnapped and mind controlled.
Exactly, dude. And I can totally see how that happened. Because, like, imagine if you were just given acid or just drugs like that that are so disorienting for hours and hours on end and never being able to come down and not feeling safe and having somebody tell you things and accuse you of things, you know? Yeah.
Mind control. That's how we do it, baby. GG's. Mind control.
On today's episode of Mind Control, we're going to be discussing the late Mac Miller's final studio album, Circles. Circles was released on January 17th, 2020, posthumously and compiled by John Bryan. Circles is an album about life and the constant inner struggles that Mac faced on the daily. Malcolm McCormick, aka Mac Miller, was born on January 19th, 1992 in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He started rapping when he was 15 and has released 12 mixtapes and 6 studio albums over his career. Mac became known after his 2010 mixtape, Kids. Since then, he has released 6 studio albums beginning with Blue Slide Park, Watching Movies with the Sound Off, Good AM, The Divine Feminine, Swimming, and the posthumous Circles. Known for both his bars as well as his introspective nature, Mac was also known for being a funny and genuine soul who was beginning to release some of the best material of his life before his tragic death in 2018. Leaving behind an amazing body of work, Mac Miller is an example of an artist lost too soon. So today on Mind Control, we dive into the tragically beautiful final album by Mac Miller, Circles.
For whatever reason, dude, this shirt gets me the most attention. Like, I have people come up to me at work the most and talk about my shirt because of this shirt. And it's weird that, like, people, I don't know, I guess I never really realized how popular Mac Miller was.
I mean, so, like...
I'm recording already, so...
Because this shit's gonna keep hitting the mic. What's it called?
I'm recording already,
you know,
so we'll just keep going.
Yeah, I figured. No, I never really knew he was that popular either. Like, I had people tell me to listen to him, but I just was like, I was never anything against him. I just never really did. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll check him out. But then I just never did. And then he died. And then I remember everybody, because that was when I was working at the record shop. So, like, everybody was coming in asking about it. And then finally I was like, I got to listen to it. Like, I mean, I knew part of it was because he died. That's why so many people were coming in.
Yeah.
Because, like, that's what would happen, you know? You have people who never come in looking for this shit, but the second they die, they're fucking all over it, you know? So I was like, fuck it, I got to listen to Swimming because that was what was out at the time. And that was the first thing I listened to by him. And I remember when I listened to it, I was like, oh shit. I was like, this is what his music's like? I was like, oh shit. I was like, this is really, really fucking good. Like, because for a minute, I'm not going to lie, I was thinking like, oh, when everybody was coming in, I was like, oh, it must just be a bunch of hype. And now that he passed, like, it's super sad. So it's even more hype. Mm-hmm. But then I listened to Swimming and I was like, Jesus Christ, this is really fucking good. And it's not like what I expected at all. Like, especially because he kind of like sings and harmonizes. Yeah. And then like his lyrics are just like, they're fucking just like thought provoking. And they just like remind me a lot of things that like I've thought or like, you know, like the thought processes I've had, you know. And then like with this album, like, fuck, man, this album is crazy, dude. What's popping?
Hold on.
All right, yeah, go check.
Hey, shut up.
Hold down your house. No, yeah, like I was saying, so Swimming was the first thing I ever heard from him, and then when Circles came out, I was gonna get it, but I don't know, dude. Like I've always, at least for me, kind of had always mixed feelings about when people drop an album like after they're dead, like unless
posthumously.
Like. Yeah, posthumously, and unless like the album was fully finished and like they were planning on dropping it on this date no matter what, and then they passed, like like David Bowie, like with Black Star, like he passed like right after it dropped. But it's like I feel weird though, like you know, because like they did it to Tupac and Biggie, like till like for years after, you know, and like And like when I was younger, it was cool. I was like, oh, dope. But then as I got older, I was like, this kind of sucks. Like, like because like, I don't know, especially like if you take like a really good artist, because it's like you're risking fucking up their legacy by putting out an album. And because a lot of people aren't like educated enough to be like, oh, this album came out after he died and he didn't put it fully together. So it's not. But that was the cool thing about this, is that when I listen to Circles, even though like I know he didn't get the finish putting together, it feels like it is finished. And it honestly, like, it didn't feel, that was what I was worried about. It feeling like a money grab, but it didn't. It felt like very like, oh, Jesus Christ. Like this actually almost puts more context to what happened, and what was going on with his death. And it's just really good. And like that dude, John Bryan, like the way he put it together at the end and left a lot of the shit. Like I watched that interview. He said he left a lot of it the same. Like I don't know. I was just really surprised because you're the one who was telling me, and I was just kind of skeptical because I was like, oh, 12 songs. He didn't put it together. It came out after he died. I was like, whatever.
What the fuck is going on? Hold on.
Yeah, it sounds like someone's talking.
My fault, dude. I closed the door.
You're good. I was just saying, yeah. So I'm always a little cautious with these posthumous albums, but I
definitely
get to start it out. I think it's amazing.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely love the album. It's amazing. We'll go get into it, but to jump on that, like I definitely feel what you're saying. But one thing that I kind of tell myself is like, I feel like you get to know an artist with their music, right? You kind of like get to know who they are, their personality, interviews, videos, whatever. I feel like it's kind of like it's up to the, like, what would the artist want? You know what I'm saying? Me, myself as an artist, if I was working on an album and I died halfway through, or I would want somebody to finish it up, especially someone close, like that. What's his name? The producer or whatever.
John Bryan.
Yeah. Like he seems like he did a good job. He seems very respectful for the most part. Who really knows? But I definitely see. I tell myself that, like, what would the artist want? You know what I'm saying? There's some shit that's a little weird, like when they start digging through the crates and putting their fucking shitty raw vocals on like other beats and things like that. That kind of becomes a little weird. You know what I'm saying? But I get what you're saying. But yeah, so Circles, man, I fucking loved it. I've been like really into it for the past, I don't know, maybe like 9 months or so, up to a year, maybe. I don't know. When did it come out exactly?
It came out January 17th, 2020.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that's about right. It's been about a year. Been out about a year. A little over a year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't necessarily think I started listening to it right when it came out. I think I did listen to it. I watched the Good News video when it first came out, and that shit had me fucking leaking. I started crying because
bro, I didn't watch any of the fucking music videos. I feel ill prepared. I didn't watch the Good News video. I don't know why I didn't look. I didn't think that. I don't know why I didn't think to look. I watched a lot of like interviews and shit about the album and like even swimming. Like I watched interviews with him, but I don't know why I never thought to look up any videos for Circles. I just kind of assumed there wasn't. There's a video for Circles or for
Good News, and it's like it's all of the videos. I mean, I know that one for sure. It's kind of like a lyric video where there's like pictures and like art and stuff like that. Okay. So I guess Good News goes a little bit further. It's real trippy and shit. But I remember listening to or watching that when it first came out, and the first taste of Mac Miller I had. I feel like you were listening to this album too when it came out. Was watching movies with the sound off, I think it's called.
No, I never did. I knew what it was, and I remember like the cover and everything. But I know I even now the only things I've heard is Swimming Circles, and then there's this song that's on one of his old mixtapes called Godzilla. It's like my shit, like it's fucking dope. But yeah, I haven't even honestly after Swimming, I was already into him. I was like, oh, he's really dope. But I also didn't want to be a bandwagoner. I was like, all right, I got to take this slow. I can't be like he died and be all on his dick, Yeah. And then now with Circles, like I'm kind of like, and watching all these interviews and shit the last couple of days, I'm kind of like, oh man, like this guy's fucking amazing. Like, so I'm actually really excited. I'm gonna go back and start with like kids and watching movies with
you should that's like with the lights off or with the sound off, I think is what it's called.
Oh, with the sound off.
But yeah, man, it's wild. I forget. It's like Kid Cudi, not Kid Cudi. Fucking Mac Miller is kind of like his fan base is similar to like Logic's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Logic's.
so like in a sense that like you don't really like they're really, I would say maybe underground or just not too loud about, I don't know, it's just not too obvious of a fan base, I guess. But anytime I talk about Mac Miller, anytime I wear this shirt, people fucking respond. It's wild. It's wild to see the love that he gets.
Yeah, when like I said, when he first died and people were coming in, that's why because I didn't really listen to him, so like I didn't understand. But now like watching interviews and like listening to him, I'm like, oh man, I totally understand where love comes from. Because like I don't know, dude. Like I feel like he does. He says he puts shit into words that like that are sometimes hard. Like dude, like I mean, like to get into this fucking album, since this is what we're talking about, like the opening line, like this is what it looks like right before you fall. And like I like in that interview with John Bryan that he talks about the way he says it too. Like it almost sounds like oh well, like like I'm just talking about it, like that's what's happening, like this is what's happening, and like I love that because like I mean, at least for me in my life right now, like I was telling you, like I feel very similar to a lot of those things like that, like it's like a lot of times I'm like, okay, I want to do better, but then I find myself on a weekend and like in a situation and it's like, whatever, oh well, this is what happens, this is the life I'm living, fuck it. And then I regret it, and then it's like a circle, like that's what I was telling you, and then it's like a fucking constant circle. And I've mentioned that in another episode, so that I feel like for me too, that's why like this album now like just was like hit. And then I was just reading things about how like he was really trying at this point to like get clean and stay clean and shit. Because like when I listened to, there's an interview, I meant to send it to you, but it was with Zane Lowe. It was for swimming though, and it was released like a little bit after he died though, because he died shortly after the interview. But like if you listen to the interview, like like he does, like he sounds cool, like he doesn't sound sad or depressed or anything. And like I don't think he was, like I think it like from like what I've read, it sounds like it was a fucking mistake. Like it sounds like it could have been one of us, like and I know he was by himself, but that's probably why. Like,
oh, was he by himself? I thought he was with some chick.
Oh, was he? I thought he was by himself making music.
I could be wrong,
but I don't know.
I know he died in his bed, right?
Yeah, something like that in his room. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It was because of fentanyl, right? There was fentanyl in his coke, and he didn't know.
Yeah, and he didn't know. Yeah,
that's fucking crazy, bro. Like that's so wild to me. Like.
It's crazy that people like him who fucking probably have really good dealers that still get that shit.
Yeah,
like, so
bro.
Tells
like,
you what we get,
That scares the fuck out of me. Like fentanyl scares the shit out of me because there's so many times you, myself, I don't know, people I know, whatever the fuck, we've done coke, like, or done drugs that we don't know what the fuck it is. And like, it just, that shit kind of like fucking freaks me out, dude. It really does. And I've made lots of
literally
videos
almost.
Fentanyl. Go ahead.
I was going to say literally almost every time we've done drugs, we don't know what it is, except for mushrooms. Mushrooms is the only thing that I feel like most of the time, you look at a mushroom, it's an actual mushroom. It's not synthetic, like acid, you don't know. You don't know most of the time. Like everything, pills, you don't know.
True.
Like none of that shit we know, and we don't test it.
That's
but yeah, no, it is scary, dude. Like, because it happens all the time. And if it could happen to someone like him, who fucking has a shitload of money and probably really good dealers and people who go get it for him, like, then it could happen to fucking anybody, So, it happened to Prince too. That's what. Yeah. But I think Prince was doing it though. I think if I'm correct, I think he was actively using it. Like he knew he was using it.
Was it proven or shown? Like if he accidentally that's what the story goes. Like if he accidentally.
Well, I don't think he meant to OD for sure.
Well, like, I mean, definitely he didn't kill himself. I think, but
yeah.
But I wonder if he was actually like on fentanyl or doing fentanyl because he does heroin, or he was doing heroin, right, for a while.
Prince?
No, Mac Miller.
Oh, I don't know. I know he was doing coke. Like I know there was a coke issue.
I'm pretty sure he was doing heroin too. Why do I feel like I should have looked this up?
I don't know.
Oh, so painkillers and shit like that.
I mean, that is like heroin, dude. That is like it is.
Yeah,
like I feel like painkillers, like they are. Yeah, they literally basically are. Especially if you're doing like oxys and shit like that.
BBC
pretty
News.
Much heroin.
Mac Miller 3 charged with providing drugs that killed rapper. The rapper overdosed in September. The men are accused of conspiring and distributing cocaine and oxycodone pills laced with the fentanyl that caused the overdose. So it was cocaine and oxys that were laced. Wow. It says Mac Miller thought he'd been sold a painkiller called oxycodone, but it had actually been laced with fentanyl. Damn. So I guess, yeah, that's fucking wild. Holy shit. Well, 3 of them went to jail. So.
Yeah, no, I remember when it happened that they were talking about charging him because like they said that there was like there was I guess they found proof that like the dudes who sold it, that they knew that there was fentanyl in it, you know, and they still sold it, you know. So I think that's why they got more trouble. So like, we're fucking assholes, you know. Like it's dude, that shit is crazy, dude. Like if I was a dealer and I didn't know what I was getting, like I'd be a little scared, you know, because like you can, if you're the dealer, you can be charged for that. If they find out that you're the one who supplied it,
and you're gonna shit to a fucking famous rapper, you're gonna fucking have some heat on you, like. That's wild, dude. That's fucking wild.
But dude, it is it was sad though, dude. Like yesterday was the day I really listened to a lot. Like the Zane-Lowe interview was like, because he was talking about swimming, but like I don't know, you know, and he was talking about Ariana Grande and shit like that. But he talked about his DUI though, and was saying like, which I thought was kind of cool, like not cool but interesting, was saying that he needed that DUI because he was telling Zane-Lowe like have you ever felt like invincible? And then like he was like, you know, he's like, I went 10 years like of my life. He's like doing so many different drugs, doing so many different things, fucking getting in crazy situations. And yeah, some bad things happen. He's like, but never once was there any serious consequences. And he's like, so, you know, and he's like, when that happens, he's like, people don't really, he's like, I didn't even realize that. He's like, but you get to this point where you keep doing things because you think there is no consequences. And he's like, that DUI, so I guess he crashed into a pole or a tree. And then he's like, yeah. And then I guess that is when he started getting really clean after. He's like, you know, I needed that. He's like, you need a consequence to ground you. And I was like, yeah, that's a really good point. Cause like I've seen that with my life before, where you go on this trajectory because bad things happen, but it's not that bad. And then eventually something really bad happens and it makes you realize, oh shit, I'm fucking up, you know?
Exactly. You know what? What one of the like it's fucking wild, dude. Like I talk so much about things, and I portray myself as like this person who's like trying to do better, and like has I don't know who I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I have this weird like idea of myself that I am better and I'm doing better and this and that, and then like some shit hits the fan, or I have a crazy night or a crazy argument or whatever the fuck, and shit goes right out the window, and like. I don't know. I guess it's like it sucks that I need these like actual consequences to learn. Like I hate that that's a thing that human beings kind of need to learn the hard way to truly understand some stuff. You know, and even though we hear all these lessons and we hear all these fucking stories and we get all this advice, we never truly even hear it. It's like you can hear the words, but you don't feel it, you don't believe it, you don't understand it, and it's like. It just sucks, man. It just fucking sucks that we're just so flawed. Like human beings are just so flawed, and it's just like this album kind of really talks about that, the flaw of the human mind and how much it can fuck you and how much you can fuck yourself and get lost and just it all and just fucking swim in circles and get and that shit can be depressing. And but you can there's also like a beauty in it. Like I don't know if I'm ranting too much, but there's a beauty in the idea of swimming in circles. And you know, it's kind of like I take it a lot, circles as talking kind of like life and almost like in a not necessarily even like running circles in your mind or whatever, or like, but also circle as in like almost like a reincarnation, like I don't know, like that. I don't know if that's necessarily what they were going or he was going for with the circles, but it reminds me a lot about reincarnation, especially some of the lyrics that he says, and the way that the album was made, and him. I feel like or you have this strange feeling when you feel like you're gonna die, it's kind of like I feel like he had a kind of like an idea. That it was gonna end soon for him, and you could hear it in the album. You could hear it in fucking Biggie's albums. Biggie dropped that album right when he died. The album that was it called, Ready to Die.
Yeah, Ready to Die. I mean, his first album was Born to Die, and then he had Ready to Die,
and it dropped the day he died, I think, or something like that, or like a day after, around the.
I'm not exactly sure the time, but yeah, it dropped, and then yeah.
But I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying, but it's just wild to me. You know, it's just
no. I get what you're saying. Like, there was even like with Tupac too. I think there's like interviews of him saying like, I think I'm gonna die soon. You know, and then like sometimes you do feel it, but I don't know, dude. See, okay, when I was listening to the album, that's what I was thinking too, and like that's what kind of like was getting me in the beginning too. Like, man, it's really fucking sad to just like hear this dude who was struggling and like obviously is trying to do better, and like this happened, and blah blah, and like I was thinking too, like he must have known like it was coming, like with the lyrics. But then watching, I don't know, the interview with the Zane Lowe thing though, just kind of changed my mind about it. I was like, dude seems super optimistic and like he was like ready for his next project and knew where he wanted to go and what he was actually doing with his life, and just seemed super positive about the whole thing. And then like, so I was like, I don't know, part of me feels like, I don't know if I feel like he knew. Like, there's moments where I think he is, but I agree though. I think the circles stands for a lot of different things. I definitely see the rebirth, especially with that like dissect video I sent you, because Adam had sent me the dissect, and like I was like, oh shit, that's super interesting. Yeah. And then so I sent it to you, and like because I think that's one like thing for the rebirth right there, how it ends on that note and then it picks up on circles. Yeah. So I do feel like there is a rebirth, like, and like almost for him, like, you know, he was trying to change and be like this different, you know, cleaner, you know, person, I guess, in a way. And but then also though, like for me though, like when I was listening to it, especially last weekend, so I had a weekend and like, you know, it was just like shit, and I felt like shit. So when I was listening to it, like, you know, I just get like also just like that addiction thing, you know, that circles, like, you know, because it's very, but I mean also like the concept of circles is so like, I mean, True Detective, like every time is a flat circle, like everything happens and it's going to continue to happen. And I love, like, I don't want to skip too far ahead because I want to go through the other songs, but like that last song where John Bryan talked about in an interview, like how the what's it called, that
little note at the end,
Once a Day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like that song, honestly, dude, the once a day I rise, once a day I fall asleep with you. And like the whole thing is like just contrast. Like it's like one thing and the other, but it's like a circle. Like the whole song is, you know, that whole song is just about circles and about everyday life and it's just like, it's beautiful. And it's just a beautiful ending. And it's, I don't know, dude, the album, I'm not going to lie, dude. Like, I'm really glad you suggested it because, like, for me, this is something that even after this podcast, I'm going to be listening to probably for the next months or next couple years. And like I'm kind of excited to have a new artist like this in my life where I'm like really like, because I was hyped off of Swimming. I was like, oh man, it's amazing. I was like, but like I really didn't want to just like overhype him just because like he died. But then I heard Circles and then I started hearing like other shit and I watched like his NPR Tiny Desk and I was like, man, this fucking fool is like
he's so talented, dude.
Dude, so fucking good. And then when I was listening to the thing with John Bryan, how he said like he would come in the studio with the instruments already laid down and certain songs, and I was like, I like that he like could play instruments. It's just like fucking talented guy. And then
he made all his beats. Right? He made most. I think most of his beats are all of them even.
Yeah, and like when that's what I was reading, I was like, that's fucking dope. And then like he was I mean, he's only 26. You know, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
sad. I thought he was older. To be honest, I didn't know he was only 26.
Yeah,
I was like, damn, that's crazy.
It's. My following of him is really weird and like kind of touch and go, but like over the years, I definitely have seen like what drew me to him the most was his musical talent, not even his bars or his rap ability, but his musical talent. There's this what song is it? Now I'm gonna have to look it up. There's this song that he does live and he sings and I think he did it on Watching Movies with the Sound Off. It's some song on here. Let me try to find it. Euphoria. Have you heard Euphoria? Oh my God, bro. Dude, holy shit. It's the last song on Watching Movies with the Sound Off. Holy fucking shit, dude. And I know that there's a song, there's a video with him doing it live, I think. But then the way he spells Euphoria is Youforia.
Okay.
So yeah, Euphoria live from the space migration. I'll put it in the Discord. It's a YouTube video. But it's fucking.
Should I watch it right now or should I wait till after?
Oh no, you don't have to watch it right now. Unless you want to. It's just him singing and shit. It's just him singing that song live. But it's fucking dude, wild. That song is amazing. Definitely check out that track and maybe the video.
Yeah. No, that's what I like about him too, though. Like you said, like because it's true, and like and no shit talk, because like he does have bars.
Yeah,
but yeah, like the bars aren't like what's drawing me to him. Like it is, it's like that's why I like Circles so much and Parts of Swimming. Like it's those parts where he's singing and like not even saying too much, but like I feel like because he talked about that in the Zane Lowe interview about like how he was saying that albums before Swimming. Because Zane Lowe was asking him, what's Swimming about to you? And he's like, I don't really have an answer for that. And I guess he does a lot of interviews with Zane Lowe from what I was getting from the interview. Okay. And he was like, he's like, every time you ask me that for every other album, he's like, I always have an answer for you. He's like, for this though, he's like, I don't know. He's like, there's a lot of questions in it. He's like, I don't even know what it is yet. And Zane Lowe was kind of saying that too. Like, like it's very much like there's a lot of questions in it, and there's a lot of things that are very personal, but he's like, I don't know, like that's why it's sad that he died. Cause like, dude, I mean, I haven't heard the other ones, but these two albums, Swimming and Circles, feel like I mean, I don't know, cause I haven't heard everything, but I know it was a lot more hip hop rap before. But like these last two albums, I felt like he found that balance where you make a song that's super personal, but at the same time, it's general enough that anybody can fucking relate to it, and like absolutely. I feel like he's like what the Beatles do, or like what like other artists do. Like it's not as many words, but you're saying a lot more with saying less, and it's like and the way he was using the beats and the way it's like, it's just like fucking really, really talented and really good. And like, I don't know, dude, like, okay. And I hate to bring this up and like, not to ring my own bell, but like, it's the way I felt. Like the only time I've ever felt that way is when I wrote that It Was All Good just a week ago, the song that said the paper. That's how I felt. Like when I wrote that, I was like, man, there's not a lot of lyrics. I was like, but I feel like it's perfectly constructed when I'm trying to say with less. And like, that's what I feel like Mac was doing, like towards the end, like with every song, it seemed like it wasn't as many lyrics, but like what he was saying was so significant, and the way he rode the beat and used the beat, and it added into the feeling of the song, and it was just like a whole thing, There's
a level to songwriting that goes so far beyond what the words you're writing. You know what I'm saying? And I think that as an artist, it's very rare, but you can get to a point where you've made so much music, you find this perfect little sweet spot where, like you're talking about, where you can find that balance of making the saying what you want, but also it being a great piece of music. And he definitely was there, man. You could hear it in Swimming. You could hear the improvement in a way in songwriting from Swimming to Circles. Circles to me sounds like a legitimate Pink, I don't want to say Pink Floyd, but like level, like classic album with a classic artist who was like at the echelon, I don't know if that's the right way to use that word, but of his career. He was absolutely at the best he possibly could be at that point. And it's so fucking wild. And it's almost like the universe, not you, but like the universe, like sometimes there's things that are just so great and destined for such greatness that like the universe is like, you'll do that on the next circle. Like, we're gonna let you go down this path right now, because you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. There's also a story where, maybe I'm fucking high, but
I'm looking high.
But there is a storyline with everything that could ever happen. You know what I'm saying? Like there is a not a storyline, but there's a what's the word I'm looking for? There's a
you're talking about like you're not talking about that idea, but like there's a universe where there's every possibility.
Yes,
happen.
I don't necessarily
in one way or another.
Yes, I think that's everything's happening at one time. That kind of like, and we're right now just in the universe where he passed.
Yeah, it's like what he said. It's like, because we're in it and we view it as linear,
exactly.
And not as happening all at one time. But like, somebody else that would view it from the outside, from up above, would be like, oh, they are just running fucking circles.
Yeah.
They're waking up every day, doing this, going to work, doing this, doing that, breaking up, finding a new love.
The sun goes up, the sun goes down, over and over and over, and it's just a fucking.
Interesting thing, and it has nothing to do with the album, but it does have to do with Circles and what we were talking about. As whenever I told you about this, there's a book, and I can't remember the name. I'm not going to look it up because I don't think I'll be able to find it right now. But it's all about like the Aztecs and like their way of thinking, and it was written, and the whole book is about the idea that when they were alive, that time didn't exist, and like the guy's trying to make the argument that it didn't exist in the way that we think it exists, because to them, they saw the sun rise and the sun go down, and like that was their whole concept. So everything honestly was like almost endless, like there was a day and a night, but it was like constantly endless. Like honestly probably viewed it more as a circle than we do, because we have times and we have dates.
Yeah.
And like they did have dates and times, but it was very different. You know, it was all based off the sun, and it was just all based off just the same day. Like they were doing what we do, just in a different way, and just, you know, without like, I don't know, maybe I'm wording it wrong, because I know the way the book's written is way like fucking complicated getting into it, about how like time just didn't exist the way we think it did, and that because the way they viewed it was differently, and there was nobody else around to tell them differently, that it really was different. And that makes sense, because like it is like, you know, it's like when you're in a trip, 1 hour all of a sudden feels like 8 hours, you know? And like for them, that's how it was. They didn't have TV, they didn't have anything. They had work, which they could do in the daytime, and then they had the nighttime when they had to hide from the animals or stay safe, you know? But it was all just one. It was just one. It was just like the day would just blend into night. There was no, oh, it's 10 o'clock, I got to do this. It's 11 o'clock. It's like, okay, I do this until the night comes and I stop. And like, I don't know what I'm trying to get at, but just like the idea that like it can be like it is all how you view it. Like, you know, we view it as linear, but if we didn't have clocks and fucking computers and we didn't have day jobs and we just lived day to day, we probably wouldn't even really think about that concept too much, because it would just be day and night. Day's better than night because we're safer in the daytime. Like, I don't know.
Exactly.
It's interesting.
Yeah,
it's all just one day, you know?
I was actually talking to Monica about that recently. Like there's this level of self-awareness that human beings have where we're like, okay, we can dissect our past and use it to create a better future, and we can like look internally and things like that, and we're really the only creatures that are like, oh, we're gonna die one day. Like I was talking to her, telling her about the cat. I told her, because she went to Arizona with her mom and her sister for a couple nights, so she's gone right now. But I told her, I said, what would you do if the cat got really sick and like I had to take him to the vet, and he was like, he only had a few days or a day to live? I was like, would you fly back? I know that's a fucking morbid thing to say, but I was like, you would probably.
Wait, where is she?
She's in Arizona with her mom and her sister.
Okay.
So I asked her, I said, would you fly back early to come be with your cat? Like, just curious to see, because she fucking loves the cat so much. And she said, yeah. And I was just like, well, I was like, why? I was like, he doesn't have a soul. You know, we just started just talking about if animals have souls. And I just kind of got into the point where like, they don't think about the one day they're going to die. They don't know they're going to die one day. Like,
I disagree.
You know? Do you?
Disagree. I disagree. There's been multiple stories, and it actually happened with my grandma's dog. But I've heard multiple stories from Frankie too, and because she works at the vet. But like dogs will do that. So my grandma's dog, when I was too young, so like I wasn't there or anything. But anyways, one day, other animals do this too. I think cats do it too, but I know dogs do it. Is that if they know they're gonna die, they'll go and be alone. Like the dog went under the thing to be alone, and then he passed. That's what happened with Stella too. She went outside to be by herself and passed. But like there have been stories though where the dog will literally be a dog that never wants to be alone, but the day it dies, it'll go and like lay in some dark corner and just be alone, you know? And it's like, so like that's why I feel like maybe they don't have a soul in the sense that we think, but I think they definitely know, you know, like, and I think they have.
Do you think that they know, like I definitely agree with that. And I have seen dogs that like die alone, or they go lay in a certain spot. That's weird. Definitely. Like, I think that they know they're dying in the moment that it's happening. They know something else, like they're going into like a deep sleep or something like that. They have an idea, but I don't necessarily think that what I meant more so is like day to day, they're not like worried and pondering about their death one day.
Oh yeah. No, I think humans are the only ones who do that. Yeah, they just live day to day for sure. Yeah. But I mean, as far as though, like, because I mean, I don't know what my exactly idea of the soul is, even in a human exactly. But I don't know, dude. I mean, maybe this is much, but I feel like after you've already had the cat for a while, but after you have it for years and years, like, dude, now that with Chacha, like, dude, I really do believe that there is some sort of understanding there that she knows. And I'm not talking about on a like, oh, she knows it's time to eat, she knows it's time to go to the bathroom. I feel like there's an understanding, like she knows when I'm upset, or she knows when I'm hurt, and she knows to come and react, or like I don't know, like she like literally like does things that make me think sometimes like this bitch knows a lot more than I let on that she needs.
And see, this is literally the conversation me and Monica were having, but she's a fucking asshole. So our conversations like this normally end really quickly.
Invite.
Because she'll be like, I don't know, I just believe they have a soul. And it's like, okay, like what do we do now? But fucking
Not on that.
yeah. So like I definitely think that there's this level of like love and there is this like beautiful thing that is there that's, you know, that's shared even between humans. I think there is a layer of love or there's something there. But maybe not. Maybe what Cha-Cha, right? It's your dog?
Yeah,
Yeah, Cha-Cha, maybe she, right?
yeah, she.
What, like, and this sucks to think about, and I even think about it with my own kids, but maybe sometimes I think about my kids, but maybe what she's noticing is that you are the person who takes care of her, feeds her, you know, keeps her warm. And if you are not being okay and you're not in a good state of mind, she notices that, and that in turn is not okay for her safety and what she wants inevitably. So maybe every single thing
biological.
so maybe what we think of as a dog loving us is truly just them, just like, I don't want to go in the cold. No, I'm gonna be hungry. Like you know, maybe or no.
No. I feel what you're saying, and I think that's perfectly like no, that's a good that's a perfectly logical argument. Yeah. But I would say like on that token, then like couldn't you say the same about humans? That a lot of the things we do, it's like we have these complicated thought processes behind them, but the reason I'm really trying to get Frankie from leaving me or not staying is so I don't feel alone and like a piece of shit and like. I can't do this on my own. Like I need somebody there. So it's like you latch on. Like, so I feel like a lot of human needs and things we do can be boiled down. Like,
absolutely.
So I don't want to take that away from Cha-Cha. I think
it's better to think the other way.
But I also believe that I think there is some sort of bond between all living beings. Humans, we just have this, like you said, we're the only things that literally obsess about things that haven't happened. Like we make up scenarios in our head that literally don't exist. Whereas Cha-Cha or what's your cat's name?
Oliver or Titty Boy.
Or Oliver or Titty Boy, they just like, you know, they just live life day to day, you know, which is why like I feel like, you know, you see a lot of people, like I'd say Frankie all the time, like, I wish I had Cha-Cha's life, you know? And it's like, you know, because like that's an unbothered life. Like you're not considered about dying. You're not worried that you didn't get anything done today. You're just okay, I lived, I slept, I went outside, I pissed, I ate, I shit. It's a good day, you know? Like for humans, like we're so unokay with that. It's like if that was my day every day, I'd be like, no, I need to do something. I need to create. I need to go out. I need to do something. But like animals are just like, no,
they don't know any better. Like, they don't know any better. It's funny because like I remember
they know exactly better, dude. They know
well, I mean, like they don't know that there's fucking a whole world out there, but maybe there's not. If they don't know it, they don't think about it. Maybe there's not to them. So like, just to, maybe I'll wrap it up with this little thing.
We got off.
What's funny is I remember watching this YouTube video about like how to have a cat or some shit like that. I looked it up, like how to have a cat, and I remember seeing like that. This guy kind of explained it in a way like your cat doesn't go out and live a life and have friends and all this other shit. Like their main like attraction or what they're really like interested in is just you and what you're doing around the house, and anything that changes around the house is their life changing. So it was talking about how like anytime you do anything to like introduce your cat to it. So if you're like you're cooking and you bring new ingredients in the house, to like as you're putting the ingredients in the pot, like show it to your cat and let him smell it, and the cat will just like and fucking do
you do that?
I do. When I'm doing shit, okay. I will literally, like if I'm like in the room brushing my teeth or something, like I will literally like talk to him and like show him different things and let him smell it. And I do that with Jane too a lot. Like I'm really interactive with them with things, and like I talk to them like they're like adults.
Well, dude, just because like especially during the pandemic, like I was home alone a lot with just Cha-Cha, dude. You know, have fucking full conversations. Yeah. Like I always like I'll put words in her mouth too of like, nah, Cha-Cha, don't fucking say that. Yeah. Like don't say that. Like calm down with that. Nah, but dude, yeah, we're actually thinking about getting a cat soon. We're just worried because Cha-Cha's older, you know, and I've never had a cat, but we would definitely get one as a baby because this girl I work with fosters them, so she always has a bunch. So we're thinking about it. I just don't know because Cha-Cha's like 13. I don't know if she'd be pissed off, but I feel like if it was a baby, she kind of might like it, you know.
Well, Jane, the baby. Jane was older. She was like full grown for like a year when we got Oliver, and at first, the cat would not even go around her because she's a big black pit bull. So, and he's a little white cat. So I think the color of them, I think actually like made it weirder because like I noticed like with my other dog, like there was a dog next door, like Zan, that we had for a little while. He liked the dog next door because he looked like it. So and it's like I think that they notice that, and I think if they're different colored, they're racist.
Yeah, I was gonna say essentially what you're saying is you racist.
I always tell the cat black dogs matter. All right, where are we at?
Bro? I like how we got so off of circles. I mean, like we started out with circles, but it got to dogs and cats.
Did you have you seen any videos with him and Ariana Grande? Like talking?
No, I never really. I mean, like when they were together, I didn't really like listen to him yet, and like I didn't listen to her. But now it's funny, I listen to both of them. I fuck with Ariana Grande too. Some of her music's dope as fuck. You know, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, dude, she's amazing, bro. She's fucking amazing. I love her, dude. I really like her work on iCarly the most.
Yeah, hey, bro. Paul would watch that all the time, so we used to always watch that. Fucking, and then Sam and Cat too. Like,
oh yeah, that's what I meant. That's Sam and Cat. She had like
they
a
were
weird
on
list.
iCarly too.
Oh, was she?
Yeah, she was on iCarly before.
Okay.
She was on or Victorious. She was on one of them, and then they got the crossover show with Sam and Cat.
Okay. That's what
we're covering a lot of territory.
Yeah, bro. Bro, fucking look, I'm gonna put this link in the Discord. It's their song, My Favorite Part, which is an amazing fucking song.
I don't think I've heard it.
It's an amazing fucking song, bro. But this is them performing it live, and I'm telling you, bro, you can see how much they truly love each other. At least maybe not in general, but in that moment, like holy fuck, that is like we used to watch it over and over and over, like them just performing it. You'll love it. You'll see.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Yeah.
I've heard. Okay, so actually, I should have said that. I don't know why I totally fucking forgot about that. I've heard Divine Feminine too. The album before, and that album is fucking amazing too.
Really?
Like, yeah. Have you heard it?
No, I was against it when it came out. I was like,
yeah, most of it's like shit. A lot of it's about like Ariana Grande and his relationship, you know. But dude, like the album is really, really fucking good. Like it's good. You should listen to it. Yeah.
I remember when it came out, I was still a little pussy boy, so I was like one of those guys who was like, oh, you know.
No, yeah, it's a good album, dude, and it's not like fucking like corny and mushy. Like it's a good album, you know.
Okay,
it's dope, and it's the way it's put together. It's cool. It's interesting. It's different.
We should definitely cover more of his shit on here over time.
Yeah, no, that actually album would be good because that one's like it's completely different vibe than this or than Circles or Swimming. You know, it's completely different. Yep. But yeah, I mean, to get back on Circles, I guess, you know, dude, like besides Circles, like, fuck, dude, like, cause the first song or that whole first song, Circles, is amazing, you know, and like I love the While I Drink My Whiskey and You Sip Your Wine, we're doing well, sitting watching the world falling down its decline. Like, yeah, dude, like some parts like that remind me kind of like Father John Misty, you know, like I was like, dude, like. Like last night on the YouTube too, I forget what song it is. Which one is it? You were saying that it sounds like the Beatles, and it does sound like a Beatles song. You said it on the YouTube last night when you were watching it. It's around there. It's either Woods, Hand Me Down, or That's on Me. It might be That's on Me or Hand Me Downs. I think it is Hand Me Downs.
Yeah, I think
No, Hand Me Downs is the one where I can pour you another drink. Or yeah, right.
A lot of this sounds like the Beatles. Honestly, a lot of the album does. I mean, I don't know, maybe not just sounds like it, but it has a tone to it.
Dude, like you know, it does kind of suck though, like with this album, because like I was trying to write down like lyrics that like I thought were good, and like it ended up being almost like too much lyrics, you know. Like,
it was almost you have to write the whole album down.
Yeah, like, or like if it was a song, like the whole fucking, like the song Good News, like that whole song, that whole fucking song starting out with I spent the whole day in my head. Like, dude, like that fucking opening line. And then just when he says, I hate the feeling when you're high, but you're underneath the ceiling, you know? And it's like, fuck, dude, like there's just like some bars in there, but like introspective, crazy,
poems.
Like why? Dude, yeah, like why can't it just be easy? Why does everybody need me to stay? I'm gonna start singing. But, like it's fucking like amazing.
Why I gotta build something beautiful just to go set it on fire?
Hey, bro, you have that's my favorite line actually. Dude, it reminds me of that line that you had. Like, dude, that I love that line. I always tell you in the fucking song where it's just that one line. I mean, I love the whole song, but
I just want to be happy, but why is it so fucking hard? You know, like dude, like
Yeah.
I swear, dude, like because I do feel like two people can spit the same bar, like somebody can also on another song say, why can't it just be easy? Why does everybody need me to stay? But the way it's sung and maybe the beat and the way it's put together won't have the same effect as it does with him. Just like your line, like I feel like the line's not super complex. I just want to be happy. Why is it so hard? Like I'm pretty sure everybody's felt like that. But the way you rap it and the way it goes with the beat, it fucking hits as a moment, you know? Like it's like what I was talking about with the whole his writing style, you know? It's like these, it's like it's not even that the lines are the craziest things anybody's ever written. It's just the way they're put together and with the musicality and everything. It's just like, it's like they fucking like, whoa, like these moments that somebody else could have spit and would be like, oh, that's cool, become like really profound and philosophical when he does it. And it's like, it's, I don't know.
I feel it. I feel you. There's a lot of amazing delivery in this album. Like really amazing. And you could hear it in his voice.
Dude, and like honestly, I'm looking at like the track list and like every fucking song like is great. Like Woods is probably my least favorite, and I still like that song a lot. Like, but dude, Surf and Once a Day, like those last two songs are fucking amazing.
On Woods, I read that the concept of it, obviously about like a relationship and shit like that. And Woods is like how, you know, how they say we're out of the woods, like we're in a bad relationship.
Oh, okay.
Like, and he I guess the idea of the song was like the relationship, you know, being in the woods, in the trenches of the darkness, like not out of the woods yet. That's the point, that the track title. That's why that's that.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Yeah, right. When I heard that, I was like, oh, okay, I like that a lot. But
I'm looking at the lyrics right now. Sorry, just
no,
you
yeah,
said it.
It's a beautiful song. When I listened to it last night and I read it with it, I was like, damn, it made a lot more of a difference to like hear that. That's why like he called it that.
Yeah, no, dude, this shit is
Did you listen to I Can See and try to hear see if you could hear Ariana in the background?
Yeah, I did. So I was kind of tired last night, and I ate an edible, so like I didn't hear it. But
dude, it sounds it has to be her. I'd be so shocked if it wasn't.
On what part? The chorus?
I'm gonna find it right now. I'll play it for the podcast. Let me see.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay, at during the If Life Is But a Dream, you could hear the vocals in the background at about 108.
Life Is But a Dream.
At 108 on I Can See, you can hear it for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna play it for
It sounds just like her, dude. It has to be her. It sounds just like her.
108.
108 on I Can See, yeah. You could hear her.
Oh, in the back?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can hear that. Yeah. Is that really her?
Well, it's rumored. It's never been actually confirmed, but to me, it sounds exactly like you can. I feel like it's obvious but and it repeats a lot. But
yeah, no, it does. It does sound like her.
No,
yeah,
has to be.
I never noticed that.
Yeah. That's why the rap gene is kind of fire, dude. Like I never really there's a fine line, you know. You don't want to get too far into like all these notes that other people are making and shit like that, but it helps a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good info on there.
No, I use it sometimes, especially for things like if I can't end up finding out what it means, you know.
Yeah.
Like, cause there's some shit that I'm like, I don't know what the fuck, like. But then sometimes some of the shit on Rap Genius is like, I don't think it means that.
Yeah.
Either, you know?
Yeah. I've heard actual artists talking shit about things that's written on there.
Yeah, or like lyrics being wrong and shit like that. But oh, dude, that fucking Everybody song too. The Everybody's Gotta Live and Everybody's Gonna Die.
Yeah.
And that song is one of my favorites. I love that. I posted it on the story, but I love that part where it breaks down, where it's I feel like I've seen a million sunsets. And like, dude, like, oh man, that's what I mean. That's what dude, there's just parts that just get me when they come on. I'm like, man, if I was driving drunk, like by the beach and like with a tear in my eye, this would be amazing. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like fucking beautiful. Like, it's great. It's a great album. I really do like it, and I like the idea too. I mean, I don't know if they did do that on purpose, just because on that interview with John Bryan, he never mentioned it, but like that dissect thing was cool. I like how the album is a circle too. Yeah.
So it's
I feel like they
don't
did
know,
a good
man.
job with that, with the concepts, with the concept of the album, and like how I really would be curious to know like how deep it was supposed to go. Like if it was just like, hey, I'm making this album called Swimming, and then I'm gonna make this album called Circles. They're kind of gonna go with each other, or if there's more connections. And I actually think that there is. When I forget which track it was. I forget. There's a bar that he uses that connects to a bar that's on Swimming, and I wish I would have notated it. I'm not gonna find it, but yeah. So there's connections that are like really like intertwined. And honestly, I never even knew Mac Miller did that kind of shit. Like I never thought of him as like this really deep album making artist, I guess, with all these connections to other albums and stuff like that, like a Kendrick would do or something like that. And it made me think a lot about the Control verse, or no, not the Control verse. What was it when? Was it? Yeah, it was Control. Yeah, when Kendrick did that Control verse and he started calling all these people out and he said Mac Miller, Drake, and it's like when he said Mac Miller, it was like kind of like a shock to me at the time, but now it's like I'm kind of starting to understand a lot. Like even Eminem has showed love to Mac Miller in a lot of ways, and it's like I get it now. I get it.
Yeah, dude. A lot of people like when he passed. That's was like surprised me too. Like a lot of people that like I really like too were like talking like so fucking highly about this guy, and I was like, man, like okay, like. Must be something. And like I had friends telling me to listen to him, and then finally I was like, all right, fuck. And dude, he's fucking amazing, man. I wish I would have been on him when he was alive. And like, dude, that does suck, because he was at Coachella's that we were at. I wish I fucking would have went to see him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was at I'm pretty sure he was at the last one with Beyonce that we went to.
No.
But I know I swear he was definitely at Coachella's that we had been to though, for sure.
No 100%. Way. Did we see him?
Yeah, because I remember there was one too where Adam was telling
2017.
me, I think I'm gonna go see Mac. Yeah, that was the last one we went to. No,
and it says 2019 Ariana Grande brought him out.
Oh, she did.
It says brings out In Sync and chokes up during Mac Miller tribute. Oh yeah, he was already past. My fault. That was a clickbait. Yeah,
clickbait.
But yeah, it says 2017 Mac Miller Coachella 2017. It says Mac Miller's Coachella performance disappointed hundreds of fans. Oh my God. Hundreds of excited fans. Mac Miller is a rapper who's primarily known for his fast-paced verses. Generally had been known to please the crowd. However, Coachella was his first public performance of 2017, and he did not impress the audience due to Miller not performing many of his own verses, a lack of energy, and an odd arrangement of songs. Sounds lame. Sounds like just a hit piece.
Yeah, that sounds like a weird critique. Like I would like weird arrangements.
His entire set is on YouTube, bro.
Oh, wow. I'm gonna have to watch it.
I'm gonna say
that's fucking dope. Yeah.
Mac Miller Coachella 2017. That's wild though, man. It like right now when we were talking about him dying, and I a little bit still. I have this like overwhelming sadness. I just felt that's fucking wild. Like it's just like almost regret. Like it really sucks, man. And it's like I remember hearing when he passed, like Schoolboy Q, like he didn't even like want to talk about it at all. And like anytime it got brought up, he just gets sad. And anytime it gets brought up with anybody, it seems like people just get super fucking sad. And it's like, oh God, you could see that. You could see in this dude's eyes and that he was like a lost but good person. And like silly and like sweet too. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's a sweet innocence to him. And like, but there's also this like deep sorrow that's there. And it's like, it's it's fucking sad to see, especially when people are trying to get better, I remember when X died, XXXTentacion, I fucking bawled, dude, for like 45 minutes. Like I legitimately cried and I don't think I've ever cried for an artist like I did for him. And I think a big reason for it was because I knew following him on social media and stuff like that he was doing really his best to be better. And he was donating to people. He didn't want to bullshit. He was like really doing good. And he was obviously, a really great artist with a lot of potential. And the day he died and how he died, it just hit me hard, dude. And I was fucking crying and listening to his music, and Monica kept checking on me, and it was like I was like legitimately like confused as to even why I was reacting this way, because I wasn't a huge X fan, but like it just connects this feeling of, or this when people are trying to be better and they pass, that shit sucks because it's like it makes me think about myself, and I know that selfishly, but it makes me like it makes me like almost like feel like it might, like I don't want it to be too late for me, I guess. And it's like, you know, and I think a lot of, we could be dead right now, bro, easily. How many times have we driven drunk? How many times have we done fucking crazy wild shit? You know what I'm saying? Like we could easily be dead. You know, look at what happened with Lewis. You know what I'm saying? Like I had a homie too who passed. It was Lewis, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I had a homie who passed too. Not Brandon, McGuckin, and fucking we. I just lost it.
Stupid.
Wait, who's Brandon McGuckin?
He was the guy we went to high school with. We didn't like him.
Oh my god, why did that name pop in my head right now?
That's funny. I don't know. That's why it took me a second.
What the fuck? Anyways, I had a homie who passed, and he fucking died in a being drunk and drove his fucking car off the freeway. Just him. And like, I don't know. It's just like things like that. I mean, it's just like, I don't know what. It's just fucking. It's sad, man. It sucks, and it's like you don't want to feel like you're running out of time. So it's like that's what I try. It's good I don't know. It's good to feel something, I guess. Sometimes I don't know.
Yeah. No. I agree, dude. No, it's definitely good to feel things for sure. But no, I agree, dude. The more
Brandon,
especially yesterday, like the more like I listened to interviews with him and like other people said about him, and then listening to his music, it made me sad too. Cause like when he passed, like I didn't really know him. So like, you know, his music. So I didn't really feel like it, but I could totally see why, like if somebody had been following him and like when he passed, like if you really been following him, like fuck, like that would have fucking sucked, because now that I know about him and like know what he was doing and like his music and how much I can relate to it, I honestly feel like in a couple months it's supposed to be like one of my favorite artists, because like I just like, I don't know. I relate to him a lot, you know, and it's like the music is just amazing. So it is really fucking sad, especially like, you know, just to see what he's doing and to know that what would have probably come after Circles or been done. And I don't know if you know this, and I don't know, I didn't really look too much into it. Adam brought it up and they mentioned it in the Dissect thing a little bit, and you mentioned it, how the albums are connected, like that it was originally supposed to be, because they sell a deluxe version of the vinyl, and it's called Swimming in Circles, and then it goes from swimming just straight to circles, and it's supposed to be like almost connected, but it's like it's supposed to be called Swimming in Circles. And then I guess there were people who thought that he was working on a third album that was going to be called Drowning. There was going to be like a 3-piece, like Swimming in Circles and then While Drowning or something like that. So like, I mean, I don't know if that's true or not, but I was like, that's really interesting. And like the Swimming in Circles, like I definitely see the connections between the two. They're very similar albums. Like I feel like Circles could just as easily have been like Swimming, like extra sessions or something, you know, like in a way. I mean, they are different albums though, for sure. Because I feel like Swimming definitely has a more hip hop vibe and shit, you know.
Yeah, I wonder how much of that has to do with him not being a part of Circles too. Like that's the one thing, like or like the final production and like layout and all that. Like I remember in that interview that dude did with Zane Lowe, where he talked about how Mac wanted to leave or wanted to change something on Good News, and he didn't like the hook, and the guy had to tell him like, no, you got it. And like sometimes like it's crazy how those little moments, like you might think that something's not it, but it can be it. And it's like, it changes everything. Like, so it's good to have like the right people around. And I wonder how much of why Circles, I don't want to say it's good because like why it's so good that he didn't, you know, why, maybe I'd be curious to see what Circles would be if Mac was around, or what it would.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, definitely. That's what I was saying. Like, that's why I'm always like weird about like albums when they're released posthumous. Like, so it would be really cool to see that. But I do like that they released this though, just because it's great, and I'm glad we listened to it for the podcast, because I honestly probably would have eventually got around to listening to everything by Mac, but now because of Swimming and Circles, like now I'm like probably gonna start like this week, you know, listening to his other shit, you know. I'll probably listen to that album you're talking about, listening to movies or watching movies with the sound off.
Yeah, that was a good one.
And then but yeah, dude, like I'm excited to get into all his music. It's sad that he passed, but I'm excited that because in the Zane Lowe interview too, he said like he had like 12 mixtapes. That's what Zane Lowe said, and like
and like 5 albums or something. I was like, oh shit! So he has a lot of music to go back and listen to.
Yeah,
so at least that's cool.
His first, it looks like 2013 Run On Sentences Volume 1 is like the first thing that I found, and he has so much. Jesus Christ, lots of music.
That's dope. Hell yeah, I'm gonna have to listen to it. That's exciting, you know.
Yeah, hell yeah. Oh wait, 2010 Kids came out. Wait,
Kids is the first. Is his first, I think. I think Kids is the first. That's the first thing I've like heard about when people talk about him. Like they'll bring up that.
Yeah, he has a couple live albums too. Yeah, fuck yeah. There's a lot of music there that I really want to get into, and you should check out that track Euphoria. That's a good one. It's the last track on the album, so maybe you'll hear it eventually. But that's a great one, man.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
No, I'm gonna check it out, dude.
Do you want to go through like any like tracks that you liked a lot? Like,
I mean, if I had to pick, I love that whole album, but dude, like Circles, Good News, which I know we talked about both of those. Once a Day, dude. Once a Day, honestly, I think it's an amazing last song, dude. Like I just love every fucking part, dude. And like the chorus that everybody keeps rushing. Why aren't we taking our time? And like every now and again, baby, I get high. You know, like it's like I don't know. It just sounds like I don't know. It's just it's a great fucking song, dude. Like that's what I mean. Like these songs are almost hard to get into because like. They're all like, yeah, and they're up for like interpretation, you know, like they're kind of like what they mean to you, you know, like I feel like I relate to them so much, but I relate to them because of like personal shit, which I'm pretty sure for you, it's like the same thing, you know? Yeah. So it's like it's hard. Like when we did Logic, like you could pick out a bar and be like, oh, this bar is dope, you know? Yeah. But it feels weird doing that with this because it's like now the whole song is like really just introspective and like the don't keep it all in your head and like the only place that you know nobody ever can see. And fuck, dude.
Yeah, that's a bar right there. You keep it all in your head, the place you know nobody can see. That's fucking that shit hit me hard last night. I was like, holy fuck. That was wild.
Yeah, dude. And then just the fact that it ends with the once a day I fall asleep with you, and then once a day I try, but I can't find a single word. And like for that to just be the last line of the album too, like and then just with it starting with, you know, and then just the way it starts too, like I said, with this is what it looks like right before you fall. Like it's just it's an amazing album, man. And I don't know, is there any songs you really want? I mean, I like all of them. I really like Hand Me Downs. That's On Me is really good. I like them all, dude. I like I Can See a lot as well. But I like the whole album, honestly. Like, and every song kind of hits differently in different moments in the day, I guess you could say. You know what I'm saying? Like, Blue World is like one of those tracks that, like, it kind of reminds me of his older stuff, like kind of like a more hip hoppy kind of shit. But like, and that's like one of the songs that I don't listen to as much. But lately, I've noticed myself getting into it a lot more. You know what I'm saying? I like his production, bro. I like the way he makes his beats and shit. it's very original sounding. It's like it has a Mac Miller sound to it. So, it does.
Yeah.
No, dude. I love Blue World. Blue World's a really good song. And I like the hip hop vibe. That and Complicated kind of has a more hip hop vibe to me too. At least the beat wise. Like I know he kind of sings over it, but like the beat has like that.
That's another one that's fucking great, dude. Like the lyrics of it, like it's in the whole concept of it is like, why does everything got to be so fucking complicated? Why can't I just get through the fucking day and just all I want to do is get through the day with no complications? Like that's all I give a fuck about. And it's like, wow, that's it's true. It's like such a simple idea, but like I don't know, you feel it. That's one thing that that this album does. Is like whatever he says, if you really pay attention, you will feel it. Like other songs, you could hear the same lyric, like you said, but you don't feel it. You could feel what he's saying.
Yeah, and I feel like even like with this, with like Complications, like you said, like if you just listen to the song, like you hear the beat and it does sound a little more upbeat and shit, you know. But like you said, if you listen to what he's saying, like it is like I don't know, it's like you would feel something. Like I love the whole like some people say they want to live forever, but that's way too long. Like you said, I'll just get through the day. Like it's true. Like some people are so fucking concerned. I mean, I guess when you maybe, I don't know, but it's true. Like, you know, some people do like are concerned with like having these long ass lives and like, and then some of us are just concerned, like you said, with just fucking having a good day and just making it through the day, you know?
Sometimes that's the best way to do it. You just got to focus.
Yeah, no, I think it is one day at a time, and just it plays into the whole thing of the circles, one day at a time. Like it's just a circle, and you got to start over. You got to do it every day, and it's like just make it through the day without complications and fucking. Yeah, it's a great song, dude. I really what were you saying?
This podcast is starting to really shape who I am as a person. Like I'm like dude, discovering myself a lot with this fucking podcast.
I know my tastes, my everything. Like it's just like changing. Like no, it does, dude. It gives me a lot to think about every week. That's kind of why like I wanted to do the 2 weeks too, because sometimes I do feel like with the week I'm rushing, and it's like it's nice to take the time with some of this stuff, like especially like this album, And to not get too off, there was one other Surf is one that I really, really like, which is right before the last song. And I love the line in the second verse where he says, sometimes I get lonely, but not when I'm alone. It's more when I'm like standing in crowds, Yep. And then I'm feeling the most on my own. Like, and it's just like, I don't know, it's just fucking, and I love the chorus too. And the days they go by until we get old. There's water in the flowers though, so let's grow. Like, and the people they lie. But he says something about that too. There's a part where, fuck, what song is that? Is that this one? Do you know what I'm talking about? Where he says something about like, I don't lie, but maybe I do, or is that Good News? He says something like that. Wait, let's see. Oh, I'm no liar, but sometimes the truth don't sound like the truth, maybe because it ain't. Oh, yeah. Like I love, dude, I fucking love that part, like it's just like a bunch of moments, like it's hard to. This album is like kind of, I guess, hard to talk about, but I would highly recommend it to anybody who would want to listen to it, because it almost feels like talking about it too much. I don't want to like cheapen it in a way, like because I feel like it's a really good album and that somebody should experience it for themselves and not hear me fucking saying the lyrics in a monotone voice for the first time, I
feel that it's definitely more of a it's definitely a great, it's a feeling album, and it'll connect with you in different ways that it'll connect with other people. Man, I really liked it. And are you still want to do Peep next week, or we can do something else?
Or I'm down to do the book. I mean,
yeah. Let's do that.
Especially because what are we gonna do? Are we gonna do 2 weeks? 2 weeks. I mean, I might be able to be ready to do it before that. But okay, cool.
Yeah, and then we can just record and just be ahead if we're ready to do more or whatever. But
sounds good to me, bro.
Thank you everybody for listening and watching. Whoever's here toward already at the end, I appreciate you. Subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, give us a rating. All that good shit.
Follow the podcast, or follow our Instagram at Mind Control Podcast.
Yes, sir.
The Discord, everything. Yeah.
Yep. Everything.
Leave
will
a
be
comment
in the description.
too.
Yeah, leave us some comments. Talk with us. We appreciate you guys. We'll see you next time. We are going to be doing episodes every 2 weeks now, so we have a little bit more time to like decompress the album and just like take it in. So or whatever we're doing. Yeah. So love you guys. GGs.
GGs.